I got your plan open in X11, and I don't use the grid, so I'm going to turn it off. And you can see, got a room here, no room there, got a little room here, and there, nothing over here, little room there, let's see, yeah, and there. So in order to control all of these spaces, you have to have closed spaces. Like this is probably this wall here, this room divider wall isn't closed. Let me close that. See if we get it done. There's something else wrong. Let me just click, make sure all the walls are connected. I'm just clicking on a wall and then hit this little tool here that's connect walls. Oh, here's the problem right here. Not quite sure what you intend there, but I'm just going to close that to the point where we get a room. Now, what's this little deal here? Oh, I see. Probably this here. For convenience, I'm just going to close that. See, now we have a room there. And we have a room here. Not quite sure what this space is. Let's take a look. When I first looked at your plan, it was really confusing looking because there were so many, there wasn't anything showing here. Of course, I'm sure this is not what you intend, and the roofs aren't complete. And I think the main room of address is over here where the kitchen is. I think. This appears to be a living room and a kitchen. Commonly, what I would do is I would use that same tool under walls, room divider wall, and just draw something across here like that. So here we have obviously the kitchen. We'll name that kitchen. Where's kitchen? There it is. And show the room label. Move that off the cabinets. And this is probably the living room. It's not the entry. And we'll move that tag off of the furniture. There. Now let's take a look at this room in an elevation camera. I'm going to just stand over here and slice it in this direction. So I think what you want, based on the photograph you showed, let's see, where is that? Yeah, this. Looks like you've got your first floor walls, like others have noticed, up to a certain point. Then you've got a truss and a little bit skinnier walls on top. And the easiest way to do that in Home Designer or Chief Architect Premier would be to use thick walls down here and skinnier walls up here. Now, getting the truss in there is a bit more complicated. So just bear with me. So I'm going to go, but you've got the start of a thicker wall here. Of course, you didn't say how tall this, well, maybe you did say. Let me look again. Okay, first floor walls are 16 feet, and the floor above is 7 feet. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to draw a two-dimensional CAD line here on the floor. Now I'm going to move that CAD line up. I don't know if this tool is in Home Designer Pro, but I use it all the time. I'm going to move that CAD line up 16 feet. And you've got your 16-foot ceiling there. And then I'm going to take this line and use Transform Replicate again, make a copy of that line. And I'm going to move the copy up 7 feet. So your thick walls are to here, and then your skinny walls are up to here. And the overall ceiling is 23 feet, 16 plus 7. So you don't want a roof plane up there. I'm going to delete that. Delete this one. You don't want to build roofs until you structurally define the room properly. Now I'm going to save this camera because I'm going to come back to it. Save. And we'll leave it called elevation 1. See, now there's a saved icon. Whoops, you've got the, oh, here it is. Here's the saved icon for that camera. And anytime I can just double click on it and reopen that view. Okay. All right, now we're going to go up to the second floor and make sure attic walls are on. Well, only reason for that is, okay, they're on. Now I'm going to turn the reference display on. There's the room down there. See, you looks like you did use a thicker wall over here. Let's see what that is. Oops, I don't want to copy it. Okay, and that's a brick 6, okay. But this wall over here is invisible. Looks like it's invisible. Yeah, it's a 4-inch wall. So that's not going to work. And this is not a room out here, but it appears to be a room because it's got windows and doors in it. I'm sorry, this is a little confusing from my point of view. I'm going to just pull this over and make this into a room that I can control. See, now it has a dialog box and a floor and a ceiling. And I assume this is just an opening. And not quite sure what you're trying to do here, but I'm going to guess that that should probably just end over here. And this should not be an invisible wall. It should be brick 6 like the other one. All these are guesses, okay? So I'm going to change this to brick 6. So we get the thickness on the first floor and we get skinnier on the second floor. And of course, I don't want it invisible, and I want it to be locatable with dimensions. So that, make sure the brick's facing the right way. I can't tell because you have layers turned off. Okay. Let's go over to walls, layers, or there's something checked here that's no locate, right? No, main layer only is not checked. Wonder why the layers aren't showing. Ah, there it is, walls, layers turned off. Okay, see, like this brick is facing the wrong way. I'm going to flip that layer over. So the brick is to the outside. Again, I'm just guessing. I don't have no idea what that wall is for and why you got an invisible wall here and not, you know, there's too much missing data to be certain about what's going on. And the ceiling height in here should not be the default. It should be, okay, I think that's 16 feet. Yeah, 16 feet. This number style, this allows it to display rather in inches instead of in feet. So that's 192, that's correct for what you said you wanted. It should be 192, okay, and it is. Okay, now as others have indicated, I'm gonna go, let's see, do we have a second floor or is it the attic? It's the attic, okay. You're not gonna be able to do what you wanna do without creating a second floor. So I'm gonna go here to build floor, build new floor, but I'm not gonna derive it from the first floor because the first floor to me is a big question mark. I'm gonna make a blank. And we're gonna tell the finished ceiling of this potentially new floor to be 7 feet. But see, you have a platform normally in between, so I may have to adjust this later. So now we've got the second floor, and there's nothing on it except some attic walls. I'm going to go over here, double click on that, and see what the default exterior wall is set to. It's some kind of siding. I'm going to say that that's okay. That's siding 4. And I'm going to draw a little siding wall right there over that invisible wall and make sure that it's lined up and make sure that it's what I think it is. It's siding 6. No, I don't want that. I want siding 4. My plan was to use a 4-inch wall. And we want it to line. Yeah, I'm trying to stretch it. Okay. I'm going to line the siding out with a brick, so we get that inset effect on the inside. You can see the outer edge of the lower wall. I'm going to line that right up on that so that the outer layers line up. You can't just click a button to do this. I'm doing it manually because what you're trying to design is very unusual, and it's not going to work out of the box with the way Cheap Architect and Home Designer Pro are designed to work. I'm just going to line this wall up, and then this wall here. This little thing that I'm using here, that's over in Edit, Preferences, Architectural, Show Same Wall Type Handles. I think it's handy and saves clicks. This way I can just click on a wall and then extend that wall type. If I didn't have this checked, I wouldn't be able to do that. Okay, I've got it lined up. I'm going to line it up a little more finely. Yeah, with the outside edge of that thick wall. And I'm going to extend it all the way. I'm assuming that this is just an asymmetric inset that you've got for this room. Again, I have no idea if that's your intention. That's what I'm assuming it is. And we'll line this one up. Okay, now I've got a room here, and I'm going to program this room to be open below. In other words, no floor. See, that removes the floor platform. Now I'm going to go back to this saved elevation camera. And you can see it's a little bit too tall because of the floor platform. So I need to make this room ceiling a little bit lower. I'm going to measure from the 7-foot mark up here down to the CAD line. That's 2'1 1/4. Now I'm going to go up here to this room and go over here. There's a finished ceiling, minus 2'4 1/4, I believe it was. Hit the tab key. Now that reset the ceiling. Now I'm going to go back to the elevation camera. Well, okay, I missed it a little bit. I'm going to go from this line to there. Okay, 3 5/8 inches. We'll add 3 5/8 inches to the structure tab ceiling, plus 3 foot. Oh heck, I think it wasn't 3 foot, it was 3 inches. Let's make it 3.5 inches. Then go back to the elevation camera. Okay, pretty close. Wait a minute. This is the 16-foot mark, isn't it? I'm getting confused here. I'm going to draw a dimension from there to there. Okay. Now you can't trust these dimensions initially until you inspect their dimension points. See, this one's measuring below the floor. In my experience in this software, it commonly does that. And this is measuring not to the CAD line, but okay, 16 feet. I'm going to extend this dimension up to the, okay. So I was not figuring this correctly. I need to extend it now 7 feet. See, there's the evidence. There's nothing there. I haven't done this in a long time, so forgive me. Plus 84, tab key. And then we'll check that, the veracity of that in this camera here. Okay, bingo, we nailed it. So there's your 16 feet, and there's your thick wall, see? Now, we're not getting the thick wall over here because, so what I'm gonna have to do with this wall here, is make it a pony wall. I told you this was complicated. We'll go over to wall types, yeah, and make it a pony wall. And I want brick 6 on the bottom. Now, of course, I don't know exactly where these layers are going to match. Let's see. I should be able to see that in the elevation camera. Okay, see, there's the thicker layer, but it's not lined up properly with the wall below. Oh, well. Okay, it looks like I need to move this over from here to here. That's 4 9/16. So that would be down screen. I'm going to use transform replicate to move the selected object. Oh, what was that figure? I don't remember. I'm sorry. I'm only human. I'll measure from there to there. 4.5, okay. So I'm going to take that and just, I'm not going to align it. I need it exactly down screen minus 4.5 inches. I'll go back to the elevation. Yeah, see, that's a line now. And here's the CAD line. So I need to raise this to measure. Those layers aren't lined up properly either. What is that, 11 1/4? I can't see it. 11 1/4, okay. So with pony walls, you can adjust the height of the pony wall. So I'm going to use another elevation camera over here. And I said I wanted to raise that. I'm going to draw a CAD line right on that line. I'm going to take that and raise the CAD line in the Z-axis, 4.5 inches. Okay, so when I click on it, see here's the wall polyline of the brick wall. I'm going to just snap it to that CAD line and then delete the CAD line and close this camera and go back to my, okay. See, now these are in alignment and they're not in alignment. Oh, well, curses, I foiled again. And this upper pony wall, this one here, is not aligned properly. I want it aligned to the inside, which is not the default alignment. Let's see, it's wall types. Yeah, see here under align pony wall at inner surface. Now we go back to the elevation and see, yeah, that's lined up properly. Now I just have to get this right. I think what I'll do is I'm going to do an elevation camera at an angle here so I can see both walls. Well, it's not all that easy to check out. Okay, here's the line. Well, they do align. See, there's the break point. Okay, let's check it with an isometric camera now. I'm going to go down to the first floor and stand over here in the kitchen and isometrically look in that direction. I'm going to turn the color off and I'm going to change the camera type. to vector view so I can more clearly see what's going on. Okay. Okay, well, there's the thick wall sticking out at 16 feet. It's not sticking out very much over here. I wonder what's up with that. Oh, I shot myself in the foot by aligning it to the inside. Duh. Okay, I wrongly aligned this one in plan view. So I'm going to go over here to wall types, and instead of inner surface, outer surface. That way we'll get on the inside. Well, it didn't move, did it? Well, let me check it in the camera. Okay. It didn't look right here because that's too low. But you see what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to get the thickness on the inside, the skinny part on the outside, and 16 and 7 feet, and open below without a floor in there. The only thing that's not cooperating so far is, let me take a look at this from this direction. See, that's what I'm looking for there. I'm not, wow, they're way out of sync. This isn't 16 feet either. Okay, let me check something out. I'm going to do an elevation camera this way. That's not at 16 feet. See, that's at 10 feet. Why, I don't know. Maybe your defaults are set for 10 feet. The room dialog box has 16 feet. So now it's at 16 feet. I'm going to take this up to manually to yeah, you get the idea what I'm doing. So now we have that 16 feet. Now that doesn't handle this area here. I don't know what you're going to have to do with that because I don't know your full intentions yet. Now we'll do the other side. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the side I just did. This side. That looks like that's about 16 feet. Let me check it. Okay, that's what I was seeing. So I think that's about 5 inches off. So I'm going to click on that. Plus 5. Okay, let's try that again. I'm sorry that you decided to do this, but I mean, you know, it takes what it takes. I'm going to take a cab line on the floor, raise it up to 16 feet, just check my work. Okay, it's pretty close, not perfect. But I'm not getting paid for this either. Okay, so now visually you ought to have a little bit closer what you need and want. I hope. Yeah, so you can see a kind of a shelf on the left and the right. Now, the tricky part, or a tricky part, is your trusses. Trusses are pre-programmed to work in rooms that have a floor and a ceiling. And this room here doesn't have a floor, so you can't draw a truss in it. So what are we going to do? Temporarily, I'm going to take this second floor room and just make it a room with a ceiling. Now the truss tool should work. Now the truss tool, your trusses were rectangular shaped. Boy, now that I think about it, I don't know how easy this is going to be to do at all whatsoever. If I knew what kind of roofs you had over the house, and see, normally trusses are drawn between roofs and ceilings. So the second floor room, well, this isn't going to work. I think what you might want to do is consider creating trusses using soffits. I think that would work. I'm going to open this elevation camera that I opened earlier. And it looks like to me you want the trusses up here. So you would take the truss tool. Yeah, the regular truss tool under build, framing, build, well, it's under framing. It's right. There it is, roof truss. It's grayed out in this camera view because you can't create trusses in a camera view. But I don't think, due to the limitations of this tool, that would work. So I'm gonna try to construct a truss out of cabinets. The soffit tool is your friend here. I'm gonna click a soffit in there, and we're gonna shove this up against the ceiling. And I'm not going to try to exactly duplicate your truss. I'm just going to kind of give you the conceptual idea how it would be done. I stretch this truss across, all the way across the room, and it's 24 high. I think we want about 6-inch high. And the depth is probably about 4 inches. And the width, I'm going to leave it the width where it is. So now I've got, let's say, the upper chord of the truss. I'm going to pull that up to the ceiling and then copy it. Down to here. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to go to plan view and find, okay, those objects are right over here, see? I'm going to move it away from the wall a little bit so it's easier to find them. There's the one on the top and then on the bottom. I'm going to use this centering tool to center them on each other. Well, that didn't work. Okay. Let me just line these up visually. There we go. They snapped into place. Now, what I need are some webbing. So I'm going to go over here to cabinet tools. Thank you. And have the soffit painting pointing in the direction you want it to slant. I'm just going to extend it. And I want a, I don't want to place it, oh, okay. I have to have, I think what I'm going to have to do is put a roof on it here. I'm just going to put a gable roof on it for now. I'm going to use your presettings and assume that you set the roof to where you want it. And join that into a gable and then just go over the top of this room. I don't care about the overhang. I'll leave that to you to adjust. Okay, now this second floor room, I'm going to open the object and make it open below again. Because I can't create trusses with a truss tool in Chief or Home Designer. Let's make it open below. Now this soffit here, now that I have roof planes in here, should have an additional options. Yeah, see place under roof. I want it to mimic the slant of the roof. I want the width to be 4 inches and the thickness to be 6 inches so it matches the other truss pieces I created. Yeah, and I'm going to take this and just slide it over here close to the other pieces and go back to this camera that's open. Okay, you can see it's up here. And it's takes a little practice to get used to, but I want it down here, even with this bottom chord. We overdid it a little bit. Working with slope soffits, if you don't do it all the time, it's a little I'm going to make that go up using the arrow key. That's better. Okay, now I'm going to extend this until it hits the upper chord. This is probably not exactly what's in the photograph, but you know, you're limited in what you can do by the pre-programming of the software. I'm sorry for it, but I mean, that's what it is. Now I'm going to take this and copy it in place and drag the copy over here to the other side. And hopefully I can use transform replicate and reflect it horizontally. It did not work. That sometimes that happens. So here's the thing here. I can just rotate it in plan view. It's no big deal. There we go. And then I could make, you know, copies and come down this way and this way. You get the idea. But what you end up visually in 3D is something akin to what you're after, I think. Let's see. Let's take a look at this. Hey, see, there's your truss. You could change the material on that to like wood or something like that. Let me just go over here and go to plan materials. And there's birch blonde. No, that's not what you want. We want something darker. Excuse me. Probably hickory or something like that if I can find it. That's usually in plan materials. Not this time. GH, yeah. Maple. No, it's too light. Oak dark, that'll work. And see, yeah, set that to component mode. We'll make those look, instead of look like drywall, we're going to make them look like oak dark. So there's the beginnings of your truss. Now I'm going to take those truss pieces, they're up here, and move these collinear with the other pieces. Probably have to zoom in to get the control level I need. So this ought to now look a little bit more like, yeah, I can put one here and here. Yeah, it depends on how intent you are, but there's a shelf. I need to move it, either the wall up or the truss down. I missed it a little bit, but you get the idea. But my old purpose here was just to point you in the direction of what's possible and what you need to do by minimally to get things done. That's out of alignment. So I got this right up here, but it's not right down here. Let's see about that. Yeah, I see it's off a little bit. I'm going to take this and just manually, with the reference display on, line those layers up. And you just can't use automatic tools for this because it's so out of the box relative to the way that still looks goofy. Anyway, it can be aligned one way or the other. And I think this is how you should probably do that. Okay. Anyway, good luck to you. Oh yeah, I could put an upright here with a soffit, upright here with a soffit, a king post in here if you wanted, and some other 45-degree angle. But and then I would copy those using the copy tool. I know it's not finished, but it's as finished as it's going to get. Now I need to turn the roofs off because I don't want to copy those. So we'll go to the roofs, planes, turn those off. So I just want to be able to grab the soffits. See, I got the wall. I need to press the shift key and click on the wall. Well, it's not. I have to start over. Okay, so now I can go over here. Let me undo that. I want to I don't think this tool is at, well, let me just show you what's available in Home Designer Pro. That's this tool here. I'm going to copy that group select and copy it 6 times. And each copy is going to be moved to the left. That'd be minus 48 inches. Face it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we'll go back to the isometric camera that's open. You see them, there they are. It'd be smarter if you finished the first truss before you copied it, because then it's much too much work to try to copy those repair them after the fact. Get it perfect before you copy it. Okay. Well, I hope this helps you, and if it doesn't, well, I gave it a shot. Have a good day.